Hello everyone and welcome back. When watching this video, you have the possibility to hype this video. Well, please do so, will help us really much. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Desperate Oasis. This is a little card game for only 2 players. Kind of a tag war situation with cards with special powers, but at the same time, they also have points. And so let's go to the table and see how he plays. To set up the game, you start by shuffling the Oasis card. You can recognize them by the green back. After that, you draw 5 of them and displace in the center of the table between the 2 players. Then you shuffle the animal card deck, recognizable by the orange background. Each player receives 4 cards. So the opponents will receive 4 cards, and then each player will receive 3 palm tokens. The game is played in rounds. Players will play cards in front of them on the opponent's side, trying to conquer, trying to claim Oasis cards that will eventually score you points or sometimes negative points. Players will play 3 rounds, and at the end of the 3 rounds, who has the most points will be the winner. On their turns, a player must choose one of the 3 possible options. One option is playing 2 cards. They can be the same one or can be different in front of them. Another option is play 1 card in front of the opponent, or another option is to play 1 card face down on their side. When playing animal cards, the cards must be placed as close to the oasis as possible within the same column. You cannot essentially leave gaps when playing cards. So if I have placed these 2 cards and I place another one, I cannot skip this column and play this card here. I'm forced to place over here. Then I can continue underneath if I want. That is the placement rule. Some oases are associated with special power movements. For example, this, when playing this card here, the movement power gets immediately activated and will move the card on the other side. And also, each card that I play has a special power. We'll go back later and discuss what the powers are. But when you play a card, the movement power of the oasis gets activated first, followed by the power of the animal. In the Desperate Oasis, there's rule of attraction. When I place a card that is an identical card adjacent to the column I played my card in, the last card that I played will automatically move to the adjacent column. If I play a card like in this case and I have multiple choices where my card can migrate, I can decide to which column I want to move the card in. In the game, there is a card that's the chameleon. Essentially, is a joker, is a wild card. This one, when I play it, it behaves as any other animal. So the rule of attraction also applies. So I can decide to move it to an adjacent column to mimic or to represent the same animal if I wish. As mentioned before, we have the portal oasis. These are the orange ones that allow you to teleport an animal from your opponent to your side or vice versa, as long as you have space to acquire that card. And I say mention space because underneath the oasis, you can only have a maximum of 3 cards unless an animal will break the rule. So as soon as you have 3 animals, that's the maximum that you can have on that column. And then we have the palm trees. When a player creates a group of 3 of the same animals in the same column, they can deploy a palm. When placing the palm token, you essentially is a bidding chip. You really feel confident that you're going to win the oasis, and that palm in the oasis will count as an extra point at the end of the game. Each player has 3 palms, and only 1 palm per round can be utilized. At the end of the round, you will go and score points. How you score points? Essentially, you're going to count the value of the cards plus or minus a special power of the animals and see who wins this oasis. So in this case, this player has 0 plus 2 is 2. And on this side, you have 1 plus 4 plus 1. So that would be 6. So that player wins this card. On this side, we have 3 and 3, 6. On the other side, we have 2 plus 3, 5 plus 5, 10. So also this card has been won by this other player. and so on and so forth to resolve all the Oasis cards. And finally, we get to the special power of the animals. So let's take a look at the powers of the animals. We have the scorpion. When the scorpion is played, immediately kills the weakest animal on both sides of the Oasis is played. So in this case, we'll place the scorpion over here and we'll kill the weakest animal. So we will kill this one and we will kill this one. Obviously, this is why would you play on yourself? You won't do it that. Perhaps you want to play on the opponent's side. Then we have the Egyptian Serboa. The Egyptian Serboa, when placed at the end of the round, will make the elephant scoring equal to 0 in both sides of the Oasis. So this elephant will score 0 at the end of the round. You know, the elephants are scared by little mice, and we all know that. Then we have the golden jackal. The golden jackal allows you that when you play on an Oasis and you play 3 of them, allows you to play a 4th card of any type you wanted on the same Oasis. And so breaking the rule that only 3 cards can be played on one side of the Oasis. Then we have the Arabic camel. The Arabic camel gives you the power that when you have 3 of them on the same side of Oasis, you get 1 extra strength to conquer, to claim the Oasis. And then we have the elephant, pretty big, pretty powerful. However, if eventually end up being with the Serboa, it will count 0 at the end of the round. And finally, we have the chameleon. This is essentially copy an animal with everything what we said before, attraction rules and also special powers, and then can be played as usual. You have also a reference card over here that gives you an idea of what the special powers are. And as I said, you play this for 3 rounds. You count the points. Sometimes you have a negative victory points. And who has the most points is the winner. And here you have a Desperate Oasis published by Wiscos, who also kindly provide this review copy. And if you want to know my full thoughts on this game, please join me on Patreon for a very brief overview and final thoughts. And if you made it so far, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share with your friends. You know the drill. This is not your first YouTube video, am I right? Thank you very much, and see you next time.